guys, it's Jona, and I saw The Incredibles 2! If you are new to my channel, my name is Jona and I upload pop culture based videos 2 times every week. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more and hit the little bell so that you get notified whenever I upload. There are spoilers all over this video, so don't watch if you have not seen The Incredibles 2. You have been warned, there are spoilers all over this video. They are everywhere. So just be careful. After 14 years, what seems like a century, I finally saw the sequel to The Incredibles. I finally know what happened after the Underminer arrived. First of all, I think it's really cool that they picked off right where they left off. I can't really think of a lot of sequels that do that, that start literally seconds after the first one finished. That was really refreshing, and that was something I really enjoyed. It's something that my little tiny fangirl heart couldn't even wait for. I loved how they opened it. I liked that it was kind of a callback to the Jack Jack short. So I started off really excited, and that lasted for the whole movie. I was so engaged. I was so excited. I noticed that I was like sitting upright in my seat even though I could have reclined because I was so excited and so engaged. I feel like going into it, the most that we really knew was that like Elastigirl was gonna take the lead and that Mr. Incredible was gonna stay home and that Jack Jack's powers were gonna be discovered by his family. But we really didn't know a whole lot about like what would happen, so I was just so into it and so excited. So things that I really liked about Incredibles 2. I loved that it was Elastigirl driven, that like Elastigirl took charge, she was the hero. It's so cool to see that. It's like about time that we see stuff like that. And Elastigirl is so sure of herself, she's so powerful, she's so strong, she's so smart. She has so many amazing qualities that it was just really cool to see her in her element. And I kind of liked that like Mr. Incredible wasn't like, okay, go do that. He had trouble with it. That added an interesting dynamic and added like a new layer to his storyline. Like you could tell he really supported her and was really proud of her, but like he wants to be a hero. We know that from the first movie. I always think of that like little moment in his office where like the music plays and he looks at all his memorabilia and he's like, I want to be a hero. And so like it's hard for him to see Elastigirl going out to be a hero while he has to stay at home. I loved the home scenes with Mr. Incredible and the family. I thought they were so funny. And they were so well done. Like, it was never boring. It was never like, oh, they're just at home, where's Elastigirl? Like, I was so into it, and I thought Violet's whole arc was really interesting, and even Dash had interesting moments, though I wish he could have had, like, more of an arc like his siblings, but Jack Jack stole the show, 100%. There were just so many funny moments with Mr. Incredible and his kids, so I really liked that. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some things to discuss in this video, and a lot of people wanted to know how I felt about the villain twist. So here's what I think about that. I knew right away. I knew right off the bat when we saw Winston Dever and he was like, they're out in public again, follow them, this is our chance, that he was shady. I knew right away. So my first thought was, oh, well, he's gonna be the villain. We've seen this trope like a million times, especially in recent years with Disney and Pixar movies where it's like the unexpected villain. You think they're good, but then they're really bad. We saw that in Up, we saw that in Big Hero 6, we saw it in Frozen, we saw it in Toy Story 3, we saw it in like basically a lot of movies. I could list them all, but we'd be here a while. I was like, here we go again. It's this guy, Winston Dever. He's the bad guy. And then we saw his sister come in and I was like, oh, obviously she is part of it. He seemed overly friendly, so I thought for sure he was the brains of the operation. But then when Evelyn comes into the like control room where Elastigirl is after they think they've caught the real screenslaver, I was like, wait a second. So she's the mastermind and her brother is the assistant. But then it turns out the brother isn't even part of it and it's just Evelyn. So they kind of got me, kind of didn't. It's still the same trope. It's still the unexpected villain. So I wish it could have been a little more creative, but I also feel like the villain wasn't the main part of the story. Like, yes, they were all after Screenslaver, and yes, the big battle at the end was to get Screenslaver, but I feel like the villain wasn't like the main storyline. I don't know, I feel like it was more focused on like family and dynamics and work, and not so much about like hero versus villain. I don't know. Does that make any sense to you guys? So even though that was kind of predictable, it didn't bother me that much. One thing that after the movie I was already disappointed with was the lack of Honey. Like, we already saw Honey's scene in the trailers where she's like, where are you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP. And I hoped that that scene would have been longer, but it wasn't, so that was kind of disappointing. My favorite character in this is probably Jack. I mean, he stole the show, he really did. He didn't even have to try, he just did. And I feel like he drove a lot of the story. Maybe not that obviously, but he was there for a lot of the key points. But whenever I was little, my favorite characters from the first one were Dash, Frozone, and Edna Mode. So I kind of wish all three of them had had more time in this one. But I always love Edna Mode. Always, always, always. So I was really glad that she was in it. Wish she was in it more. That part where Dash and Violet are in the car after they escape the like hypnotized heroes. And Dash is like, oh, we've got you, we've got me, what can we do? I thought they were gonna call Edna. I 100% thought they were gonna be like, let's call E. I wish. I wanted to see Edna Mode in a climactic battle. Is that too much to ask? Somebody asked me about what I thought about Tony's difference in animation. It's actually crazy. So everybody looks slightly different, slightly more realistic, slightly more polished in the sequel, but Tony looks totally different. Tony Ridinger looks completely different. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, his eyes got bigger and he looks so different. Like, it's not even the same guy. Is this really Tony? Is this a conspiracy? We need Shane Dawson on this. Oh, and something I realized when I was going to bed the night after I saw it is that the Underminer is still out there. They never got the Underminer. The Underminer will come again in the third one. If there's a third one. I hope there's a third one. I definitely think Incredibles 2 is a really good sequel. It fits so well with the first one. It's just like a direct continuation. It just feels like one fluid story, and I feel like they could definitely make a third one that could even further the storyline. I'm definitely really pleased with what I saw. So my thoughts on it compared to the original. I saw the original in theaters in Disney World, which was the coolest thing to me as a kid. As a kid. Did I just say as the kid? I wasn't the kid. I was a kid. So that was something that was really special, and like the next day at Hollywood Studios we met the characters and it was super cool. So that will always hold a special place in my heart. This one, I feel like I tried to imagine myself as a child again and like think about what I would think of this one. And I feel like this one is more adult driven. I feel like they aimed this at us, the people that grew up with it, that are now 14 years older. Would young me have liked this movie as much as the first one? I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of it might have gone over my head, or maybe it would have been a little scary. I don't know. I really don't. So it's odd to compare the two because I am in such a different place than I was back then. But I guess if I'm just comparing them now as I am as an adult, I like them both pretty equally. Each one has good points. I don't know, it's really hard to compare them because they're like similar but different. Am I making sense? I don't know. Oh, and people are asking me about the short that was before The Incredibles 2. I always love Pixar shorts. They always get me in the feels. This one, Bayo, I think that's how you pronounce it, Bayo, was very interesting. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Was it all a dream? Like, was it all in her head, the whole dumpling coming to life? That is my question. Or did it actually happen and the dumpling came to life and she ate the dumpling? Because that's a lot. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was super well done and super creative. I'm just a little bit confused. So my theory is that it was like an imagination thing because she was like picturing her son in the dumpling, but like the dumpling didn't really come to life. It was all just like her imagination. But I don't know. I'd definitely like to learn more about that and maybe research it more and research like the process. But it did make me feel emotions, so I think it was pretty good. So those are my thoughts on The Incredibles 2. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. I love you all. Stay beautiful, you people. Bye!